Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another video. And this is of pretty much the much hated film, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Part 5 didn't do as well as they thought. I mean, it was still a hit, it still made money, but the fourth film made about 49 million, then the fifth film made about 20 some million. They're like, well, this was it 91? I believe it was 91, and they're like, well, let's kill Freddy off for good. I know there's another idea that like uh, Bill Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson had an idea about Freddy was so weak that people would dream just so they could go to him and beat the shit out of him. But it's about Freddy got a lucky kill in, and then it led to Freddy held this father hostage, and the kid went in to rescue his father. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, you know, with Peter Jackson directing at that point, I would have been curious about it. Because Peter Jackson at that time, actually it was before Dead Alive, wasn't it? It was before Dead Alive, and it was before The Frighteners. He probably had done Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles by then. I'm like, from the director of Bad Taste and Meet the Feebles, having doing a Nightmare on Elm Street film. I mean, I'm not sure about the idea of Freddy being so weak that people should just go in and beat the shit out of him. I'm not sure about that, but again, Peter Jackson, I would like to have seen that. I mean, Peter Jackson, he would go on to do Dead Alive, which I love. It's one of my favorite zombie films. And then he'd go on to do The Frighteners, which I really enjoy. I mean, Peter Jackson today, I don't really care for, because I don't care about Lord of the Rings, I don't care about The Hobbit, and I don't give a fuck about King Kong. He can stick a giant dildo up his ass, King Kong, and eat it. But Peter Jackson back in the day, that would have been cool. But they didn't go. I think it was Mike DeLuca wrote this. And Rachel Talalay, who directed this was her first time directing. She had been with the other Elm Street films in certain capacity, like producer or so on and so forth. And she would go on to direct Ghost in the Machine, Tank Girl. I'll admit, those are films I don't mind. They have flaws, though. And at the end of the day, I know a lot of people hate this film, and believe me, I understand why, because it's goofy. It's goofy, it's not scary, it's definitely a total opposite of Freddy from the first two films. I understand that. I still like this film. I got entertainment out of this. I will admit, there are flaws, and if you don't like it, that's fine. I mean, I would still say my favorite's Part 4, then probably Part 3. Then would I put Part 2 or Wes Craven's New Nightmare? I don't know. One would be one would be the other. So 4, then 3. Either Wes Craven's New Nightmare in Part 2 or Part 2 and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And then the first film. And then probably, I don't know if this one or Freddy vs. Jason. I don't know. But I'm not saying it's in my top 5 of Elm Street films. But I'd rather watch this than the remake. I'd rather watch this in Part 5. Part of me wonders if I'd rather watch this than Freddy vs. Jason, because I like the cast in this a bit better. I like the cast in this better than Freddy vs. Jason, I will admit. Although the Freddy and Freddy vs. Jason is definitely darker than this one. Not as dark as the first two, but, comparing the Freddy in that one is darker than this one. But at the end of the day, I had fun with this movie. I gotta admit, I was entertained. And I'm sure people are pissed. But fuck it. Whatever. I piss people off in my sleep. I piss people off when I'm awake. I piss people off if I'm drinking. Fuck it. I'm just an asshole. But I mean, I could tell that they definitely put a budget in this because they definitely thought it was going to be the last one. In a way, it is, because the one after this, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, is an altogether different animal because it takes place in the real world. And then Freddy vs. Jason technically takes place after this, but you could also say that that's its separate entity, spin-off. I know some people would say that. Even though you could say it connects to this, but at the same time you could look at it just as a spin-off. And then you have the remake. So in a way it's the final nightmare, but at the same time it's not, because there is, you know, Freddy did come back in other films, but but you know, I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to put it. Fuck it. I had fun with this film though. I like the opening with the doo-doo doll song. I'm away now. I'm away now. And I liked some of the dream sequences. That was my problem with Part 5 is, well, amidst a lot of problems. One, I thought Robert Englund was phoning it in Part 5. Here, he's still the goofy Freddy, but I thought Robert Englund was having more fun in this film than in Part 5. Like, Part 5, he had shittier lines of dialogue or whatever the fuck. But here, I thought I liked Robert Englund. I had fun with Robert Englund in this one, I will admit. I like some of the dream sequences, I like this guy. Like I said, I don't mind the cast. I like Shon Greenblatt, who's on this plane, and you know, he says to this woman next to him, "I'm afraid of heights," and she goes, "Don't be a pussy." And then she flies out of the airplane, and then he flies out of the airplane, and then all of a sudden he's in this house, and he looks out, and his house is in the fucking air, swinging in the air, and he goes, "Shit!" And this is the scene that, yes, I did not like this scene either. This scene could have been cut out, this part. With Freddy, like the fucking Wicked Witch, saying, "I'm gonna get your little soul, too." You could have taken that out. It wasn't funny. It was definitely goofy as shit. But I like the other stuff. I like that he lands Shon Greenblatt and rolls out, trying to get out of town. You have Robert Shea, the producer, as the ticket guy. And the guy, Shon Greenblatt, gets hit by the bus and gets pushed out into reality. I like Freddy's lines, like, "Now be a good little doggy and go fetch." You know, I like that. I thought the delivery of Robert Englund was stronger in this one than Part 5. And I don't mind the makeup in this as opposed to Part 5. I know a lot of people don't like the makeup of Freddy, but I don't mind the makeup in this. It's definitely not up to par with some of the other ones, but I did not mind the makeup in this one. I don't know, just something about it, I like it better than in Part 5. And the kid goes off and gets into this youth shelter, and this youth shelter is led by, not really led by, but you have this woman, Lisa Zane, which I thought was interesting that you kind of have a little bit of an older woman. I mean, usually it's teenagers, well, supposed to be teenagers, but here it's sort of an older woman, so I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't mind Lisa Zane. I mean, I don't think she's as good as the others, like Heather Langenkamp or Lisa Wilcox, but I didn't mind her. I think she's better than the ones in Freddy vs. Jason or the remake, and I could deal with Lisa Zane. I know back in the day, I'm like, she related to Billy Zane. Just for some reason, just because you have a last name, you're just related to them. But, you know, I'm like, Lisa Zane, you related to Billy Zane? But I didn't mind Lisa Zane as this sort of counselor type of woman. And then you have these 3 kids. I wish I had Wikipedia on me because I would have said what the fuck their names are. But I like the guy who played Carlos, who has this hearing aid. You have Breckin Meyer, who I like. And then you have this girl that I'm iffy on. The girl, I'm iffy. Kind of iffy on her. Just iffy. But you get the idea that she was fucked with by her father. And then Breckin Meyer's character has his dad who wants the kid to be just like him. But it's a youth shelter. They have problems. You have Yaphet, sort of like a dream therapist guy. It's like, cool, I like Yaphet. I like that Yaphet's in this because I don't see Yaphet that much and stuff. I mean, there's the James Bond one that he's a villain. There's Alien. I think there's one he did with Peter Hyams that Michael Douglas was in. The Star Chamber. I haven't seen that one. But I liked some of the stuff. I liked it. Yeah, I like him. It's like, cool, Yaphet's in this. That's a plus for me. I put him as Shon Greenblatt. He's doesn't have all of his memory, and he's Lisa Zane's trying to help him out. I like the scene that he's trying to stay awake, like he knows he needs to stay awake, and he's talking, and someone throws something, like, I'll break a ball over your head, yo, shut the fuck up. And he just continues singing. I like that. Lisa Zane has some dreams. Shon Greenblatt's having dreams. Him being a straitjacket and sees himself in a straitjacket and says, I'm your fucking memory. And pretty much Lisa Zane goes, okay, you mentioned something called Springwood, let's take you back. And he's like, no, I might not know much, but I know that that's a bad place and I'm not going back there. But she kind of makes him go, I really feel bad for the John Doe character. I would not have minded if the movie kind of starts out with him like he's the main guy, and then you realize that it's actually Lisa Zane. But I would not have been minded if Shon Greenblatt was the main guy, because I really liked him. I felt sorry for his character because he went through a lot of shit and then dies, which that sucks. But before that, they're going, and then they find out that the other three kids, Breckin, Meyer, and the girl, and the Carlos character, hid in the van. And you have some weird stuff. I know Richard Talalay and I think Mike DeLuca, they were influenced by Twin Peaks, but I don't give a fuck about Twin Peaks. I've never seen Twin Peaks, so that's why. I know they mentioned, well, we're in Twin Peaks. And then, like, they're in this fair in Springwood, but there's no kids. Well, that's one thing I gotta mention that I thought was really fucking weird. At the beginning of the film, it says that it's like 10 years from now, and every kid has died in Springwood. And I'm thinking, really? Like, you know, from part 5 to this, it doesn't... I'm sure probably there was a script that mentioned why, but they just said fuck it. But I'm like, so what happened to Alice? What happened to her baby? What happened to Mark Patton? But apparently they probably just moved away, which they should have done. But it was just sort of weird, like, oh, every kid except this last kid. I'm like, oh, okay. So in this fairground, there's no kids. And then you have Roseanne and Tom Arnold, which, why are they in this fucking movie? Because Richard Talalay was inspired by John Waters and Twin Peaks and shit. And I'm like, that just doesn't work. That part, to me, does not work for the film. Yeah, I don't need to see Roseanne and Tom Arnold make cameo appearances. I mean, that's a bit that I think could have been taken out. But then, pretty much Lisa Zane tells the three kids, you guys go and get out of here, take the van. Me and the John Doe, Shon Greenblatt, are going to check out the school. But then the three kids go in the van, for some reason they keep going in circles. As if Freddy's fucking up with reality. And I'm like, so how's Freddy doing that? Like, how's Freddy fucking with reality? I mentioned that because a lot of people complain about that in part 2. But once again, here's Freddy fucking with reality. Just like in the first film, with the ton. Which, no, derp. There's some username named derp who acted like an ass. And then he wants to go on about, oh, the entire film was a dream. No, it wasn't. That one in part 3, I'm sorry. The entire film was not a dream. So yeah, the bit with the ton and the phone was reality. And there are other times where Freddy has fucked with reality, including the senses where they're going in circles. Just none of them are asleep. Sorry about the edit there. Little thing fucked up. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, so they're going around in circles, so, you know, that's affecting reality. You know, they're in the van going in circles. Then you have this bit with the map, and Carlos is fucking with it. And you find out he's asleep, and the map says, you're fucked. So they ask, and he goes, the map says we're fucked. I got a chuckle out of that scene. At the same time, Shon Greenblatt and the woman is going around school, and this is sort of shit that I don't know, I didn't really care for. Like, you have a goofy teacher about Freddy 101, and that Freddy has a kid. Uh, the three kids can't get out, so they decide to go in this place, and the Carlos character falls asleep. And then you have his mom, I need to clean your ear out. He's like, no, no, and puts the Q-tip right in his ear and straight through to the other side, and Freddy does the rest. I like this dream sequence. This is a dream sequence I liked. Fucking with someone's hearing is, I think, kind of fucked up. Kind of fucked up, making the guy deaf. It's kind of fucked up. Because he makes him deaf, throws him through a fucking wall. And I like the way it's done, where the noise is subdued, and Carlos is looking around, and I always laugh at this scene, I will admit, where Freddy's like, takes his hat off, right behind his back. I got a chuckle off, and it's like, I mean, this film is more of a cartoon. I think that's what pisses people off, and it's understandable. But I didn't take it seriously, so I had fun with it. I will admit, I had fun with it. I thought that was a really funny scene when Freddy's talking shit behind his back, but him and us, the audience, can't hear him. It's like, that was pretty funny. And then gives him a hearing aid back, but it's a fucked up hearing aid, and like clinches right into his head. Then Freddy like pulls a pin out of his finger and drops it, and the sound amplifies, and will give him a bloody nose, and he puts other pins and fucks with them. Then Freddy gets his chalkboard and does this, and then makes Carlos nosebleed. Then keeps fucking with the chalkboard and makes Carlos' head explode. I'm like, okay, I like that death scene. I like that dream sequence. Then you have, while that's going on, Lisa Zane and the John Doe are looking at this orphanage. I mean, that little bit with them searching wasn't really the most interesting, I will admit. But then Breckin Meyer, I know a lot of people don't like it, but I had fun with this dream sequence. Like, first off, you got Johnny Depp making an appearance. I'm like, how the fuck did they get Johnny Depp? I think they mentioned on Never Sleep Again something about, I think there was a movie done called Crybaby, and like he did it as a favor or something. I haven't seen Never Sleep Again for a while, so I'm sure it's in that. But I'm like, it's still like, holy shit, they got Johnny Depp for him to do a, this is your brain on drugs, any questions, and Freddy to hit him with a frying pan. So you get to see Johnny Depp get fucked up with a frying pan by Freddy Krueger. And that's when, Freddy's like, let's trip out. And you have the song, Inner da Vida, baby, and all these weird colors come in like an acid trip and sticks Breckin Meyer on the TV. And that's where you get the video game stuff, which I know a lot of people are pissed off about. It is understandable because it's goofy, it's cartoony, but I had fun with it. I had fun. I mean, it's definitely Looney Tunes. I think that's what pissed people off. It was Looney Tunes. It was a joke. But I don't know, part 5 to me was more of a joke because it just, Freddy wasn't funny to me. I guess for a lot of people, Freddy wasn't funny in this one, but I thought Freddy was funny in this one. And I like that he's playing these like great graphics, or he talks about Shon Greenblatt and the other girl, not Lisa Zane, but the other girl, going to the dream, and they kick the controller away. And Freddy's like, you forgot the power glove! I like that. I had fun with that. Fucks up Breckin Meyer's character. They try to get out of there. Shon Greenblatt gets put in the dream. He's still in the dream. And I like this bit where he's being fucked with at this house. Like, he walks out of the house, and the house like goes into outer space. And then he wakes up, and he's like, I am not. Nothing's making me get off this bed. And then the place catches on fire, and he gets up and he goes, I hate this house. So he jumps out the window, and then he's falling again, and then Freddy is cutting his parachute, And because Shon Greenblatt thought that he was Freddy's kid. And it's like, no, it was a daughter. He's like, a daughter? So he kills the John Doe by cutting him loose. And again, this is straight out Looney Tunes, where Freddy pushes something like Roadrunner would do, and the kid falls on it, has these massive holes in him, and he dies. And they go back, and it seems like a lot of people, like, these characters have been erased, but yet some, like the Yaphet stuff, still remember them. Now, before I go further, the whole thing with, you find out, of course, Lisa Zane is Freddy's daughter, and you have, like, dreams of her as a little girl, and Robert Englund looking like Robert Englund as, human Freddy. I know it's strange because we've never heard this before. It's never been heard of. It's never been said that he had a daughter. It really is like something they pull out of their ass, which they do. It's like, but hell, I like Jason Goes to Hell. So fuck, dude. What do I know? But I don't know. I guess I like the stuff with the human Freddy. I know at one time before they did the remake, there was talks of doing a prequel. And you see a little bit of the stuff. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I wouldn't have minded. I don't know. I thought the little girl was fine. I liked Robert Englund as human Freddy, and I liked Lisa Zane, so it didn't bother me as much as other people, but at the same time I can understand. I really can. I like his line that he says, because she goes, this isn't Springwood. And he goes, every town has an Elm Street. I don't know why I like that. I thought Robert Englund's delivery as Freddy was stronger in this one. Then you have the girl, the Tracy character, dealing with her abusive dad. I thought this was a good dream sequence, nightmare sequence, because, it's something that's fucked up. It's, this girl, obviously, the father had sexually abused her and felt her up, and you see the father, this fat schlub of a man, feeling her up, but she takes him out, does some kung fu, but then Freddy fucks her up and goes, kung fu this bitch. I like that line. And, like, she's taking him down. I like this bit of dialogue. It says, my dream. Maybe your dream. But it's my rules. And, like, his glove turns like a little chainsaw, like a Ginsu knife, like a just... But she gets out of there and burns herself to get out of there. Then you also have Yaphet, and it's cool. Yaphet gets to beat the shit out of Freddy. I'm like, alright, Yaphet, this is like revenge for him getting killed by the alien, so he's gonna... It's like, Freddy ain't gonna fuck with me. The alien killed my ass, but Freddy ain't gonna fuck with me. And this is like one of my favorite scenes in the movie, because I just like the way it was done. I like Robert Englund's delivery, where he's talking about, they tried burning me. Well, actually, said, they tried burning me. They tried burying me. This is my favorite. They even tried holy water. But I just keep on ticking. I like that scene. I thought it was a really good delivery by Robert Englund. I thought that was a really fun scene. I like that scene. But Raphael gets out, and then it's the whole thing that was... It's a callback to the first film, where bringing Freddy into reality, because they didn't do that in part 3. Actually bring Freddy into reality. They didn't do it in 4. They didn't do it in 5. They didn't really do it in 2. That was a different sort of possession thing. So they Freddy kind of do that on purpose. But it was, okay. That's how you don't kill Freddy, I guess. Okay. But the stuff here, there's like the 3 demon shit. Oh, these 3 demons gave him powers. What about Jason Goes to Hell? I don't know, Jason Goes to Hell, at least the fucking thing didn't talk. At least the fucking thing Jason didn't talk. They go, hello, Steven. Oh, hello, John D. LeMay. Hello, Bounty Hunter. At least he wasn't fucking talking and shit. But these 3 demons actually talk, and I'm like... And they look like shit. And the whole thing with, oh, she got to put on these 3D glasses because when you saw the film in theaters, the last 10 minutes were in 3D. You know what? The 3D sucked. Fucking shit. Such a bunch of balls in your sacks. Sacking your balls. Quarterback sacking your balls. It was just shitty. Shitty 3D. This was definitely 3 dicks. That's how bad it was. 3 dicks in your face. At home, you're not going to see this in 3D and shit. Oh, I got the 3D glasses. They don't fucking work. Shitty 3D. I know there was an interview I remember seeing that Rachel Talalay was talking about how she was disappointed because, it was all about the 3D, not about how do we kill off Freddy. I'm like, exactly. Fuck the 3D. So that kind of hurt, not even kind of, it hurt the finale. Because you had the 3 demons that go like this, and they were fucking lame, so get the fuck out of there before I stick you up my ass and fart it out in your face. Then you see like parts of Freddy's childhood, and him in his teenage years been beaten by Alice Cooper, and that Freddy had killed the Lisa Zane's mom when she was a kid. And I'm like, okay. Brings Freddy back to the real world. They get weapons. Her and Freddy have a struggle. And she dishes some stuff out. Bites Freddy's nose. Fucks him up with his own glove. But then he's choking her ass out. But then she breaks his fingers. I like Freddy's line, like, I forgot how much it hurts to be human. And re-breaks his fingers. Pretty much she gets the shit, throws it at Freddy, sticks him there. Gets the glove, stabs Freddy. She says, like, Happy Father's Day. And Freddy's like, kids. And blows up. Although I don't like the... okay, he blows up, cool, but I don't like the effect that... Like, you see, like, multiple Freddy heads for the 3D effect, and then the stupid 3 demons. Oh, what? Fuck off. And then, of course, Lisa Zane says Freddy's dead. So, Freddy is dead. There is no sequel bait ending. Then you have a montage with... why was I born? Why was I born? Yeah, I know this became a long-ass review. But isn't it always? The film, are there problems? Yeah. I think a lot of people don't like it because it's goofy. And it's stupid. And it's cartoony. And I can understand that. It's definitely not Scary Freddy. The stuff with Freddy having a daughter out of the blue... I understand. It didn't bother me as much as others, but I understand it. The 3 demon shit and the 3D finale was fucking lame. It was fucking lame ass shit. And the whole Twin Peaks stuff, or, the trying to be off-kilter, didn't work for me. But why did I like it? I like Robert Englund's performance as Freddy. I like his delivery, his lines when he's cutting off his fingers, or I like the dream sequences. The whole thing with Carlos and him getting his head blown up. I even like the video game stuff. I got the power glove. I do like that. I had fun with it, I will admit. I like the cast. I like Shon Greenblatt as John Doe. I like Lisa Zane. I was fine with her. Yaphet Kotto, it was nice to see him in a horror film. Yeah, I'm really big fan of Yaphet Kotto. Just go see Breckin Meyer and the guy who played Carlos. I like them as well. They were fine. I like some of the songs, like the Goo Goo Dolls. I'm awake now. I like some of the songs. Like the song that plays when John Doe wakes up after being in the beginning of the film when he gets thrust out of Springwood and then he wakes up and he had landed on a rock and he walks out. I like that song too. There's some songs I don't mind. I thought it went at a good pace. The film, I swear, I don't think the film is that long. Without the end credits, an hour and 20-some minutes. It's, at least less than 90 minutes. It says 96 minutes on the back, but I don't remember this being 96 minutes. So I don't know where the hell it's getting 96 minutes at. I swear it was like an hour and 25, hour and 20. It went at a fast enough pace for me. I thought some of the dream sequences, like the airplane stuff, was nice. I had fun with the movie. It was goofy, but I had goofy fun with the movie. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. I know a lot of people hate it, and I understand it. Believe me, before you type in the comments, I understand it. It's not it's not my top 5 of Elm Street films. I already mentioned what they were. But at the end of the day, I had fun with it. I thought it was funny that in the end credits that the teen on TV, Johnny Depp, he he called himself like Oprah Noodle Mantra. Don't believe me, watch the end credits. Teen on TV. Oprah Noodle Mantra. Okay. What the fuck that name is. I can't I can't believe I have to believe that this film was never meant to be scary. I have to believe that. Because if she tried to make this scary at all, she definitely failed. On the F scale, fuck. But I had fun with the movie. I had fun with the role. With the role. I had fun with the movie. I had fun watching it. It was fun pace for me. There were little problems I had with the film, but overall, I was entertained. And, Freddy was dead. They did not leave room for a sequel. So, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's like a 4.7 on IMDb. For me, that's a little bit too low. I mean, I definitely think it's better than Part 5. I think it's better than the remake. But I know I'm alone in that. So, I like the film. I'm sure you don't, but that's fine. To each their own. But anyway, that's Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Thanks for watching. Take care. And we'll see you later.